Christie, 11:27 in morning time right here on a Rock and Roll Monday with yours truly, Rick Wrigley. And speaking of rock and roll, we're going to go way back in time and talk with Peggy Scott. Adams, how you doing, Peggy?
Good morning, Rick. How are you?
Doing good. Peggy is the little lady with a big voice.
Well, I've been dubbed that. I'm not so little anymore. Still have somewhat of the big voice, Rick.
Neither am I. I'll let you in on that secret. So you started off early on in your career. You were touring with Benny King.
Yes, I was. As a matter of fact, Rick, I was 16 years old when I left and went on the road with Benny. I had just graduated from high school, and I used to work, sweetheart, in Pensacola. I lived in Pensacola, Florida. I was born in Alabama, but I was reared in Pensacola, Florida. And I started working nightclubs when I was about 14 years old. And so many of the major acts would come through at this particular club that I worked in Florida. And all of them that came through wanted to carry me on the road, would like to take me on the road, but my mom was very persistent about me finishing school. And Benny King happened to be the act at the time that I had just graduated, where my mom consented and says, okay, I'll let you go.
Wow.
So that's, yeah, exactly.
So how long did you tour with Benny?
Oh, maybe about 6 months. Yes, about 6 months, and came back to Florida and joined the group called the Dope and Sex Techs. And this is the group that spawned James and Bobby Purifier, and I began to be the female vocalist for that particular group after James and Bobby became successful with I'm Your Puppet.
Oh, that was a great song, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah. Very big record for them.
Yeah.
Good friends of mine, yes.
Well, Pensacola, that's I'm from Jacksonville originally myself, the home of the Big Ape in Jacksonville. Was actually did a show over there one time, sitting in for a friend of mine who was on the station over there back. But so I remember those old days, way back in the days. You had a couple of songs yourself in those old days. You hit the top 43 times with Lover's Holiday in 68.
Right.
Picking Wild Mountain Berries in 68 and Soul Shake in 69.
That's correct.
And that was the beginning of your career with Jo Jo, right?
That's right. You have exactly right, Rick. Yeah,
and those
were the beginning.
Yeah, those were all on SSS International Records, right?
Yes, out of Nashville, Shelby Singleton's record label.
Oh, really? I didn't realize Shelby was associated, but I guess, you know what? I should have realized that with SSS. Duh.
Yeah.
Okay, so you, I know you have a whole bunch of stuff in the past, but you have some stuff that you've just released, a brand new CD called Life After Bill.
Yes, we just released that CD, and I'm so proud of it, Rick. I've been blessed over my career to have had some great projects, number one records, but I think this is one, personally, I think this is one of my best, and I'm real proud of this project. I really am.
Yeah, I think you should be. I think what I'm going to do is I need to play a station ID, and then right after that, I'm going to go right over to "Make Me Yours," your cover of that great song from that CD. So Peggy Scott Adams coming up in just a moment right here on WUSC
90.5 WUSC FM, Columbia.
tell you what, that's getting down, isn't it? It's Peggy Scott Adams and Make Me Yours, Yours, Yours. Hey, Peggy, that really, I'm telling you, you're getting it with that song.
Well, thank you, Rick. It happens to be one of my favorites. I covered that tune by Betty Swan. I used to sing it even before I started recording, and it's always been an all-time favorite of mine, and I always wanted to record it, but never had the opportunity till now. So that's a personal favorite of mine.
Oh, I can understand why. I tell you what, I think it's probably my favorite track off your newest CD. So I'm with you there.
Hey, okay. It's my favorite, too. One of my favorites.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you,
Wow.
Rick.
Well, tell me, you were in the business in the 60s, but then you got out of the business pretty quickly after that for a while.
Yeah, after the days with Jo Jo, and we were successful and so forth. And as this music industry tend to have a tendency to do, you get caught up sometime. But my thing was that, Rick, I was fortunate as an artist because I wasn't one of the artists that would, seeking the music industry. The industry kind of came and found me. My aspiration had always to be a school teacher growing up. And like I said, singing in nightclubs, they drafted me, and then Benny King, the days with Benny King. And so, like I said, the music industry kind of found me, but I find myself getting stagnant and a little tired, so I took a hiatus from the business for a while. I never really left totally. I would do some club dates every now and then in Pensacola, and as in the 80s, my sister, I come from a big and loving family, and my sister lived here in California, and I came out to take care of her. She became ill, and this is how I came to be in California.
When the movie Stand By Me came out and kind of brought back a resurrection of Benny's song, what were you thinking about that? Were you thinking, was that kind of pulling at your heartstrings, wanting you to get back into the business big time?
Well, not really, but I was so proud of the fact that Benny, he was forever. As a matter of fact, the Peggy Scott, my given name, Rick, is Peggy Stoutmeyer.
I remember that.
Knowing I'm not German. But we were standing in front of the club that I was performing at in Pensacola, and Benny says, I can't take a little bitty lady from Pepsi-Cola, he would say Pensacola, Florida, with a name like Peggy Stuckermeyer on the road with me. So thus he and the saxophone player, Lonnie Youngblood, they gave me the name Peggy Scott. And so that's where, the name Scott came from. And then when I got married after coming to California, we added the Adams, and so forth. But, yeah.
So you married into the Adams family.
Yes, I did. The Adams family. And I am in the funeral business. Like as well. Isn't that a coincidence? My late husband was a mortician and a politician in the city of Compton, California.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So you were sort of close to politics, maybe not as close as the Iceman, who's now a politician in Chicago.
Yes, right, absolutely. But yes, married into the to the mortuary business to my husband and what have you. But Benny, I haven't seen him and talked to him for a long, long time. But he will always be a special part of me because it was with him that I really got started.
I want to talk about the next song I'm going to play here for a moment. Hey, it's called "Not Good Enough to Marry." This is off your latest CD.
Yeah.
Tell me about the song and its genesis, because this is an original song, is it not?
Yes, this is an original song that was written by myself and one of the producers, Bernard Littleton, who is a just a gifted and talented young man. And then with Pete Peterson, we co-wrote the song, and when I heard it, Pete kind of gave us the title, and we, like I said, we collaborated on the writing of it and so forth. And it's just kind of in the same vein of what people know Peggy Scott Adams to be. been accused of male bashing, Rick, but guys know it's not true. I just love you guys. Wouldn't trade you for nothing.
Oh, yeah.
But I've been also known to do songs that empower women. You know, the late Jimmy Lewis, who wrote all of my hits, The Bill, and everything that I did from 1997 up until his passing in 2005.
Mm-hmm.
And Jimmy was such an awesome writer, and what made him so was the fact that he did write about reality. You know, Bill was not my story. It was, you know, that didn't personally happen to me. But, you know, I was singing someone else's story, and so every song that I did after that seemed to be, like I said, he wrote about reality, and it was easy for me to put the emotions there simply because of the fact that, you know, I may not have personally experienced the songs as far as the lyrics were concerned in my songs, but I was singing somebody else's story, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And with Bill, I mean, you know, once you get past the breathing hard and French kissing part.
Yeah.
Once you get over that shock, you know, in the end, the song is really, for me, it was really about deception, and that's where I was able to, you know, to get the emotion. And I had a lot of people that I had a hard time convincing that didn't really happen to me, but it comes from the fact of me, you know, interpreting the song about being deceived. Now, have I ever been deceived? Oh yes. So
haven't we all, huh?
yeah, and so same thing basically with If I'm Not Good Enough to Marry. You know, I just could relate to the song. You know, not knowing that I would start something all over again. I share a quick story with you. I says, you know, it says, now Peggy comes out. We love the Mills will sing. We love Peggy Scott Adams, but she always makes it hard for us. I've been with this woman for 20 years. And she never said anything about marriage until Peggy came back, you know. And here she goes starting some stuff all over again.
There we go.
So,
Well, let's give a listen then to Not Good Enough to Marry. Here's Peggy
right.
Scott Adams right here on WUSC FM.
Be your girl, no. If I'm not good enough to marry.
enough to marry. Put a ring on him, baby. I love that sound. Retro, great sound here with Peggy Scott Adams here on WUSC-FM. Peggy, that's a rocking song.
Hey, if you love me like you say you do, take me to the altar, Rick, and put a ring on it.
You better believe it.
Legitimize me.
You're speaking of legitimizing and the changes that we have seen. You and I are not that far apart in age, and we were just talking about the changes from our business, our relative businesses back in the day. I was talking about the old school radio stations with room full of machines just to get a radio show on the air, and today it's almost all computerized.
Right,
and
absolutely.
The music industry has changed like that too.
Yes, and it took me some getting adjusting to it, Rick, but it's all for the better. I like where the music industry has gone now. Not necessarily so much the music as it is the technology, and to be able to be independent now. Artists have a chance to be able, not be so dependent on record companies, and that's a good thing. Back in our days, the record company totally controlled, and now we're in a position where, with the internet and what have you, that you can pretty much control your own career, and that's great. That's one of the changes.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that's true for radio too. Radio is changing a lot of internet-only radio stations, and of course, almost every radio station is on the air today. Also broadcasts over the internet, so that gives you a bigger reach. It's a little bit different from the days when we were all together. I can remember getting that batch of 45s in and going through that really brutal practice of trying to figure out which one we were going to play.
Right,
But,
absolutely.
Well, speaking of your music, where can folks get your music?
Well, Rick, my music, I started my own record label, so the name of the label is Nora Records, which I named after my late and dear mother. And they can go online at any of the digital outlets, Amazon, iTunes, CD Baby, and be able to purchase the project. And we have some physical distribution as well. And they can go to my website, which is www.diva. Peggy Scott Adams. Okay, I just don't play Peggy Scott Adams.
I like it.
And I did not self-name. I give myself that name, Rick, but I kind of like it. But you can go to DivaPeggyScottAdams.com and also be able to get the purchase the music there as well.
We were just kidding about being old school, both of us, huh?
Yes, but I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I was talking to some young dude here, Rick, and he tells me that you're around my age, man. I love it.
You better believe it. We're just starting to really get our pace,
Yes, exactly. You're right.
Well, speaking of old school, this is the next song I'm going to play from your CD.
Yeah.
Oh man, I like this thing. Old school. Tell me about it.
Well, it was inspired. When I came back and after Jimmy, like I said, Jimmy Lewis, who produced all of my projects in the 90s with Bill and Help Yourself and all of those. Once he passed, Rick, I was approached by so many record labels and, about doing some recording. But it was a time because I was really going through right after Jimmy had passed, and my brother, who was my best friend and my road manager, he passed a couple of months later, and then 8 days after he passed, it was my husband. So I was going through a really traumatic time where I just needed to take some time to myself and decide what I wanted to do with my life as far as my business, as far as the music industry. And it was during this time that I had this vision to start this record label and to do it myself. And the ultimate goal was to be able to help up-and-coming artists. That's my purpose with starting this label. Mm-hmm. I'm at the age, Rick, now where I want to go and sit down and pass the torch. I don't have a problem passing the torch. But what we did is, and I started this record label, Nora Record, being obedient. And the first project I did back in 2008 was a gospel CD called Back to the Roots. That was just just an anointed piece of work that project that I did. And what we did, we took Old School was one of the songs that was written by myself and Gerald Hatton, who happens to be the brother of the gospel great singer Dietrich Haddon, and we collaborated and we did this Back to the Roots album, and this is one of the songs that we wrote, and so I decided to put it on this particular CD.
Let's go ahead and give a listen now to Old School with Peggy Scott Adams.
I want to talk to all of my young friends out there. Those that think you know it all, that you've seen it all. Well, Miss Peggy want to drop something on you. If you'll listen, you're going to learn something. Check it out. I'm going to take you back to old school. Y'all talk about old school all the time, but you don't really know. Let me take you back. I remember when men were men. They knew how to treat a girl, make her feel like she was his whole world. Now I seem recalling, no one cared if you were balling, and it sure wasn't easy to get a loving so freely. Can we take it back old school? Do it like we used to. Loving one another. Can we take it back old school? Oh yeah. I'm your sister, you my brother. Tell me about it, Tammy. You got women having babies that the daddies won't claim. I know that's true. And she's so silly. She still gives the baby his name. You got men with families that won't get a job. Now ain't that a piece of 'cause he's got his mind set on becoming a star. Can we take it back, y'all? Like we used to. Yeah. Loving one another. Loving one another. Sisters and brothers. Oh, we need to. Get back old school. Oh, do it like we used to. I wanna know. Loving one another. Woo. Like sisters and brothers. Wow. Come on. Let's go back. I wanna go back, y'all. Follow me. I wanna go back. I'm gonna take you on back. Can we take it back old school? Let's go. Yeah. Do it like we used to. Do it like we used to, Tammy. I wanna go back. Oh. Come on. I'm gonna take you on back. Remember when we could leave our doors open all night, but you had to be home before the street lights? That's old school. Remember when you and your friend were like the same man, but neither one of you would date him? That's old school. Hey, that's old school. Can I take you back? Let's go back. Come on. Take you back. All the way back. I wanna go back. When we love one another. Can I take you back? And we respected one another. Let's go back. Come on. Can I take you back? I wanna go back, y'all.
Man, is that some great retro sound there. Golly. Peggy Scott Adams. Wow. Old school, Peggy.
Yeah, let's go back. To I wouldn't advocate doing a lot of the things that we did back in those days, but most of them I would because they were the best. They really were.
That was back when we were both young and immortal, right?
Yes, let's combine the old with the new and see what we get. Let's
Absolutely.
Don't forget about the old and just try the new. Do a little, combining it.
Yeah. Peggy, I want to thank you so much for coming on the air with us this morning, especially since it's so early out there in California. It's been a real pleasure.
It is my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me, and let me just say, publicly thank you for your support and your love over the years for our projects, me and all the fans there in Columbia, South Carolina. Thank you guys so much. I can't do it without you. No, I don't care how talented or how I may think I am and stuff. The bottom line is that without, the fans and without guys like you, Rick, then there would be no me. And I certainly, from the bottom of my heart, want to tell you thank you.
Well, I'll tell you right now, it's our pleasure. I love the old school music. I love the kind of stuff you're doing. And all I got to say is keep it. Bring it. We're ready for more.
Thank you so much, and I will.
Okay. Thank you, Peggy Scott Adams, here on WUSC FM as we play more music here on a Monday morning.